Thank you, Nelson. Welcome to my Web 2.0 Tools tutorial series. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Google Forms, another very useful Web 2.0 tool available by Google. Google Forms are a great way to gather data via the internet. For example, a teacher could actually use a form to give a test to their students online. Another very useful way to use Google Forms would be to create an online survey. And in today's Google Forms video tutorial, that's what I want to talk about. I'm going to walk you through the process of creating a simple survey. So let's get started. Step one, you're going to open up your Google Chrome browser, and in the Omni box, you're going to type drive.google.com. That will take you to the Google Drive accounts login screen. Now, simply type in your username and your password, which I'm going to do now, and then click Sign In. That will take you into Google Drive. Okay, once you're in Google Drive, you're going to notice that there's a red Create button over here in the left-hand corner of your window. If you click on that Create button, you have a number of options available. You can create a folder, a document, presentation, spreadsheet, form, or drawing. Now, each one of these Web 2.0 tools are very useful, but today we're going to focus in on Google Form. So go ahead and left click on Form. That will open up the Form Editor. Now, the first window that's going to pop up here is a window where you can choose the title and the theme. Now, the name of the title that I'm going to plug in is My Simple Survey. And then I'm going to choose, let's choose just this gray here as the theme background. I'm going to click OK, and boom, I've got my form editor open and my title is plugged in there. I can include a description if I want. There's a number of options here. I can show the progress bar at the bottom of. Now, as you can see, we're waiting to plug in question 1. Now, I'm going to do a very simple survey, 3 or 4 questions today. So my first question is simply going to be, what is your gender? Okay, it's a multiple choice. I have a number of choices that I could choose from, but I do want to use multiple choice here. My option 1 is male. My option 2 is female. All right, I'm going to make this a required question by checking that box right there. If you want specific information and the survey is really not useful unless you have that information, be sure and check that box. It'll make the question required. People will have to respond to that question in order to finish the survey. So I'm going to turn that on, and then I'm going to click Done. There's my first question. What is your gender, male or female? All right, to add another question, you go to this box right here, Add Item, hit the drop-down box, and then you can choose from the options that you have. Under Basic, I can ask a question where someone's going to provide basic text. I can ask a question where I'm asking them to provide a paragraph of text, multiple choice, which we've already done, check boxes, and then choose from a list. And I'm going to choose this one this time because I want to show you how that one works as well. My second question is going to be, do you like ice cream? Simple question. All right. And then you have this question type here. And again, we chose choose from a list. Here to the right, you have this option to go to a page based on the answer. Now, if I had a number of questions that resulted from you saying you did like ice cream, and then a number of questions resulting from the fact that you didn't like ice cream, I could choose that option, create 2 different pages, and based on the answer that the person taking the survey gave, it would either take them to one page or the other. That's a pretty handy feature. I've used that in a number of my forms. In this form, however, I'm not going to use that because I really don't have any additional questions. It's a very simple form. We've only got 4 questions on this, so I won't use that option. We'll not put a checkbox there. But in my list, I'm going to provide 2 options, yes and no. All right, I'm going to make this a required question. I'm going to click Done, and then there's my second question. What is your gender? Do you like ice cream? Now I'm going to add a third item here, and this time I'm going to choose check boxes. And in this one, I'm going to say, what flavors of ice cream do you most like? And then in the help text box, I'm actually going to say, check all that apply. Now that's going to allow them to choose more than one option. If they like chocolate and vanilla, I want to be able to say that they like both. So option 1 is vanilla. Oops. Option 2 is chocolate, my favorite. Option 3 is strawberry. And then option 4, we're going to say, is chocolate chip swirl, just for the fun of it. I'm going to make this question required as well. I'm going to click done, and then I'm going to add one final question. Now this one, I'm going to choose paragraph text because I'm going to allow them to respond by typing and more than just 1 or 2 words. So my question is going to be, do you have any suggestions for improving this survey? And then they're going to be able to answer with sentences. I'm not going to make this question required. If they want to include some information there, they can. If not, they don't have to. So I'm going to click done, and there's my basic survey. I have 4 simple questions. Now down here at the bottom, I have a confirmation page. You can change the response, like if I wanted to say, thank you for taking the survey, and then your response has been recorded, then I could add that, or I could change that and make it whatever custom message I want. At the bottom, you can include show the link to submit another response if you want them to be able to submit multiple responses. Usually I don't leave that checked because I want a survey respondent to respond one time. I don't want multiple responses from the same person. There's also an option to publish and show the link of the results for the form for all respondents. And then there's an option here to allow respondents to edit their responses after they've submitted. So basically there's all my information. Coming back to the top and looking at the tools, you'll see that there's a number of tools that we have here. One of them is responses, and right now it says 0 because no one has responded. So I'm going to click on that tool and show you that we can change whether we're accepting responses, we can do a summary of responses, or we can choose the response destination. Now I'm going to do this just for a moment because I want to show you that you can set this up to where every time you create a form, it will automatically create a response spreadsheet for you. The new spreadsheet name will be My Simple Survey, and then in parentheses it'll say responses. So I'm going to click Create. Now I have a completed form and a location where the data is going to go to when someone responds. So if I want to look at the survey just to see what it looks like and maybe take the survey, there is an option up here at the top called View Live Form. You can click on that. It'll take you to the form, and then you can actually take the survey. So I'm going to go through here and choose my option. Here's the drop-down box option. I do like ice cream. I like vanilla, chocolate, and chocolate chip swirl. And I have no suggestions at this time. And then I'm going to click Submit, and boom. Thank you for taking the survey. Your responses have been recorded. One last thing, let's take a look at the recorded responses, and do that by closing the form. And as you can see in my Google Drive, now I have a simple survey form and a simple survey spreadsheet response. So I'm going to click on that, and as you can see, there's my data that was just plugged in. Let's go ahead and skip that tour. There's the data that was received. What is the gender, the ice cream, the flavors, and do you have any suggestions? So that's the basics of a Google form. Again, you can use Google form to do a lot of different things. This was just a simple survey. Maybe next time we can do a test to show the teachers out there how you could use Google Forms to actually give your students a test, and then have Google Forms grade it for you. that's a pretty neat option as well. So join us next time. We'll continue in this series of teaching Web 2.0 tools, especially focused on what Google offers. And thank you for joining us tonight. Join us again soon. Thanks.